I heard someone speak last week that I think really may have transformed my life in a lot of ways, and I want to share that today. If you click because of the title, stay tuned. I promise you it's all going to make sense in a few minutes. But the number one skill that people leaders are going to need moving forward in this hyper-connected world, in this AI driven, hyped up working environment that we're all kind of unsure about, is you're going to have to listen. Stay tuned to hear what it is. And it's not a certificate. It's not a professional development program. It's not a coaching certificate or a program. It's none of those things, those obvious things. It's something else. Hey y'all, it's Adrielle. Welcome back to my channel. So last week I attended Fast Company's Innovation Festival here in New York, and I heard some really, really incredible talks. I sat in and listened to Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade talk about their hair care product that was inspired by their daughter. It's specifically a hair care line for babies with kinky, curly, coily hair. I listened to Tracy Ellis Ross, who also created a hair care line that was inspired by her own lived experiences with her hair and those that she observed of other people. For example, when you have kinky, coily hair, you generally need more conditioner than shampoo, right? And she even got so detailed as talking about the challenges of, like, if I do create a product where there's a larger size conditioner bottle, the shelves have not been designed to accommodate those things. I also heard from Halle Berry, who is currently Chief Communications Officer of a biotech company called Pendulum that specializes in gut health. There are also people from Adobe, Airbnb, all kinds of places. Like, it was truly an innovation festival, and I was hesitant to go because I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but I'm glad I went. Like, I walked away with more questions and thinking about things in different ways than I expected, and to me that is always a good thing, because I've definitely gone to conferences and festivals where I go and it's just kind of like, oh, you've talked about your story, your journey, but mine can't compare. Like, my life is not your life, but this was just so different. And like I said, I heard all these talks. They cover things from accessibility to product design and innovation, inclusivity when it comes to product design, ESG, sustainability, reducing plastics, talking about rethinking the physical office space now that we're in this post-pandemic world, because still there were conversations about rethinking leadership, which y'all know, if you're familiar with me, I spend a lot of time thinking about, and I work a lot with leaders, even topics on mental health. So it covered truly a bit of everything. The one talk, though, that stood out to me the most, and that I have just been sitting with and ruminating on over and over, was one that was given by Caroline Wanga, who is the CEO of Essence Ventures. Now, I'd heard of her. I heard of Wingo Woman, which is her company, which promotes authenticity. But honestly, I hadn't really explored it. I hadn't really, truthfully, I hadn't really like explored who she was, because I've just been so bogged down with so many things. But this woman steps onto the stage. She's wearing this, like, you can't miss her. She's wearing this like black and white gingham print outfit that has this like black cover up overlay with these large diamonds, this like organza flower. Her locks are like in the perfect bun, like the shape of a hot air balloon, and her locks are dyed like this orange burgundy color, like beautiful, flawless. Face is beat, honey, like amazing. She has like these jewels on her eyelids. I'm describing all of this because I'm sitting there and I had just put a sew-in in my hair. If you're not familiar, Google it. I'm not about to explain what a sew-in is right now because I'm too tired. But I just put a sew-in in my hair for the first time in a very long time. Most of my videos you'll see I'm usually in braids, or I have my fro out, or my hair is just loose. And it took me a long time to get to a place where I was comfortable wearing my hair, my natural hair, in its state. And part of why it took me so long to get comfortable with it was because growing up, I was not taught to embrace and love my hair in its natural state. I didn't even know what my hair looked like in its natural kinky, coily state until I got to college. Because there was always some sort of manipulation. It had to be done, quote unquote. So it took me a while to get to that place. And then recently I was like, it wasn't that I'd started to dislike my hair again. I was just like, oh, I want to switch it up and try something different. So I did a sew-in. I didn't even make it a week, but I was sitting at this conference with a sew-in, uncomfortable, because I'm like, oh my God, it's humid outside. I can't get my leave-out hair to blend. It's puffing up, like stressed. Again, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, Google it. There's plenty of information on what I'm talking about. There's plenty of YouTube videos on what I'm talking about, but I'm not a hair care expert. Anyways, I'm sitting there. I'm uncomfortable with it. But I just see this woman walk onto the stage, and you can just tell she's like fully herself. And it was just so beautiful to witness. And meanwhile, you have this audience, myself included, because I think I was wearing a blazer that day. Although I like to zhuzh it up with my outfits, but I still sometimes play it safe. And just to hear her, before she even started talking, let me back up. So she walks on stage. I'm like, wow, like she walks in, she makes it, you know exactly who this is, right? Can't miss her. You're not going to forget who she is. You could tell she's comfortable with herself. Love it. Inspired already. But before she starts speaking, she opens up with some slides, and the slides have no music. They have no audio, nothing like that. Although my DEI hat was like accessibility. I'm sure that the conference was equipped for accessibility. So I'm sure they had, people there assisting those that were visually impaired, but slides pop up, and they're just very short, succinct, concise slides that have little bits about her. Like, I've dealt with depression. I grew up, in an immigrant household. All these things, like just small details about her as a person. She didn't start off with slides about her as Caroline Wanga, the CEO of Essence, or the former DEI person. And I was just, it was a small but large gesture and way to start introducing yourself. And I love that she talked about why she chose to introduce herself like that. And she talked about how often, and I've done this for so long, when I'm introducing myself, I've been taught about this idea of powerful introductions, introducing who I am. I usually introduce myself by saying I'm Adrielle Parker, pronouns she, her. I have over 15 years of combined experience with diversity, equity, inclusion, strategy, leadership coaching, project management, recruiting, etc., operations, all that stuff, right? I've worked with clients that do da-da-da-da. That's usually how I introduce myself. And this has made me rethink my whole, not my whole existence, but like just how I'm introducing myself moving forward. It was just so powerful because, and what she explained was like, I introduced myself as a human, and it disarms people. I'm presenting my authentic self. And so if you're listening because you clicked on this, the number one skill that leaders, including DEI people, need, in my perception as of today, right now, because things always change, let's be clear, is authenticity. Moving forward, we need to see authenticity. A DEI certificate can, yes, teach you frameworks and approaches, strategies, themes, whatever, tools, but authenticity is so critical. And one of the reasons I think I've struggled with coaching people that are interested in working in DEI is because a lot of what has allowed me to work in the DEI space is a result of me and my lived experiences. I've just been able to integrate frameworks and strategies and things like that I've learned and picked up along the way from experience. But at the end of the day, who I am is so impactful in the work that I do, and my ability to do it, and my ability to help people. Like what I'm really good at is helping people of different backgrounds and identities come together to have open conversations and to focus on shared outcomes and goals. That is what I'm good at. And it's taken me a long time to really start to narrow it down, and I'm just now able to like articulate it very succinctly. I'm good at, and I've been good at this since I was a child. Like who I am as a DEI person, part of that is since childhood, I've always been around different types of people. Since childhood, I've been developing empathy because a lot of my experiences, I lacked empathy. I saw and experienced abuse at a young age. I have dealt with depression and anxiety off and on before I even knew that that's what it was. I've dealt with ADHD. I've thought and processed things in different ways and thought it was wrong. And no one was there to embrace it and say, it's okay to think differently or to perceive things differently. I'm someone who spent a quarter of their life overweight and obese. I use that in air quotes because, that's based off of a very specific scale that people judge that off of. But I say that to say I have a lot of empathy. I'm someone who has dealt with an autoimmune disease since puberty since I was age 11, and it's one that's painful and physically debilitating, and I don't talk about it. Like, all of these things have crafted and made me into who I am as a person who is considered a DEI practitioner. It's not the frameworks that I've learned. It's not the trainings that I've developed or the facilitation skill set or the coaching program that, thank God, I'm finishing this week, because Lord, I need those hours back that is taken up. But all of those things are who I am. And there was this recurring theme throughout the entire Fast Company Festival. I took notes, and at least 10 times I wrote down authenticity in almost every chat that was given, from rethinking leadership to sustainability to accessibility to everything. Thinking about the office, everyone was bringing up this idea of authenticity. Be yourself. You may not get it right, you may not know the answer all the time, but be authentic. And there's so much to be said about that. And I know that I am still in the process of leaning into my authentic self, showing up as who I am. But I just wanted to share that experience and put it out there as what is so needed to be acknowledged right now. Again, for leaders, and for, when I say leaders, people leaders, but also thinking about those of us in the DEI space. It's not just about getting hands-on experience. It's about your own lived experiences and how you're able to navigate different types of people. And where we are right now is so focused on individualism. There's a need for us to lean into community and to bridge differences with people. It's not a matter of trying to get people to believe what you believe and align on your beliefs. It is just a matter of us coming together, being able to have productive, respectful conversations to achieve shared goals and outcomes. At the end of the day, we have a running theme, similarity. We're all humans. Last I checked. I mean, maybe I'm not, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it boils down to authenticity and the work that you're doing being authentic and genuine, because in this capitalistic society, it's so easy to churn out and rinse and repeat the same thing you see done. It's easy to put it through AI. I love AI. You'll hear me talk about it all the time. I use tools to streamline and make my life easier in a lot of ways, but there's still, AI is not human. It lacks authenticity in a lot of ways. It lacks empathy in the human elements. And as of now, it cannot be taught those things. So, authenticity. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment below. Message me respectfully if you're going to message me, because y'all trolls love to troll me. But yeah, authenticity, I think, moving forward in this hyper-connected world where AI is driving some of us a little mad, it's going to be key. All right, y'all. Until later. Oh, be sure to like and subscribe. And also subscribe to the DEI in 5 newsletter, where you'll get bi-weekly news and updates on DEI related news twice a week. All right, y'all. Until later. Bye.